What up, what up? It's the Chief Kaseek Ortiz.
Tyrant333, and this is Figure It the Fuck Out.
Yes, sir.
And we back. We got another one. We're here to talk about the climate of the music game right now and what do people prefer more as a consumer level and what do artists like doing more as far as freestyling or writing out their raps and their music. And I feel like that's interesting because it all depends on the artist. For me personally, I think it depends on the artist and what people are in the moment and in the mood to feel at that time. But you, being the artist here, how do you feel about writing your raps out? Do you freestyle a lot? And kind of run them through that process of like, I guess, what do you prefer in your creative process?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I guess for starters, when I actually started doing music, I came in the game freestyling. Like I actually didn't know how to write a song at all. I just came in freestyling and I would just battle people for fun, whether it be in the schoolyard or, friends and family. Sometimes it would even be another rapper. You'd just be like, I'm just roasting on somebody just because. And I used to have a lot of fun with it and whatnot. But my brother Kit, he actually was doing music at the time and he would write his lyrics. And I just kept freestyling. I was all over the place. And then one day he was like, yo, I'm gonna teach you how to write a song. And basically he kind of showed me a formula of like writing an intro, chorus, verse, bridge, you know what I'm saying? He would teach me that. And then like I took like a good time out where I started writing. And honestly, I fell so in love with the writing, I just kind of stopped freestyling. But it took years before I stopped freestyling. So as like a current day, straight up, I actually don't even freestyle. I actually wish I still did. It's crazy because like I started off freestyling, but now if you put me on the spot, it's like my freestyle is like, yeah, what was that? I'd rather just sit down and write it out and put some more thought into it and get into it like that.
Yeah.
But I can say it was real fun when I was freestyling because I used to have this shit where I would call it boot camp. And the boot camp would be, whether my boys would call, we would be like, as soon as you answer, be like, yo, boot camp, boot camp. And that meant just like, yo, you have to stop whatever it is that you're doing. Doesn't matter what you're doing. And you was just straight freestyle.
Yeah.
It like kept our sword sharp. We would do that. And if we were together, we would say boot camp. And wherever you were, that turned into whatever you pointed at, you would have to freestyle about that. So if you were, in a park and you're pointing at a dog in a fence and now you're just having to rap with all this shit, it made it real fun. But as late of, the way I do things now, I prefer to just sit in the studio, listen to the beat. The beat kind of tells me what it wants me to do on it. And I really like to just sit down and fall in love with the song.
Doing that though, on the spot freestyling like that must have kept your brain sharp and everything.
Yes.
Be able to come up with different things at a moment's notice because you put the pressure on yourselves to kind of, all right, rap about that, rap about this.
Yep.
So it definitely gives you a whole lot of adaptability because you never know when they're going to hit you with that and make you have to start rapping about something.
Right.
So I like that idea too.
Yeah.
And there's probably not a lot of rap crews doing that right now.
Nah.
We came up seeing people on Rap City, The Basement.
Word.
On Funk Flex,
yep.
And up there they had to spit bars. The people Funk Flex brings up there now these days, he'd be like just hoping he can get someone who can spit up there. Like you can tell he's just wishing that he can get someone who can spit like when he came up doing this,
DJ K Slade too, he was one of those ones that like if he got you on the platform, it was like, oof.
Yeah.
You gotta come with it.
DJ Drama, like a lot of those records seem like those niggas were just spitting freestyles off of like a crazy beat. With the DJ Drama drops, like that.
No, trust. I remember after school, it'd be like, all right, let's get on the computer on AIM and figure out the new Papoose, freestyle that came out. And motherfucker would just rap from A to Z, and I'd be like, oh my God.
He was bananas with it though. Like he was, those New York rappers, shout out to NY, man. Y'all got some spitters out there.
The whole East Coast, we definitely do.
Yeah. Shout out to Massachusetts, NY, all that. This is where what? You say they liked a lot of that boom bap rap out here, basically, right?
I feel like they definitely like that gritty, raw, rough, like DMX. Like it's just rough.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I came out the motherfucking, I came out the dumpster with a rat in my hand type shit, and like I'm just gonna rap for you real quick.
Yeah. You see a lot of artists that have killed it with doing like a short 1 minute, 2 minute freestyle That's how they got the fan base ignited or got people to really know about him by that freestyle. And then, you know, shout out to Nana Freestyle, a lot of exposure from that.
Yeah.
Kodak with his some of his freestyles that, you know, really jumped him off. You've seen a couple different artists out there who that's how they kind of got in, and then they showed you their real artistry after the fact.
Right.
But then you see the other artists who they've made platinum hit records. You've never really got to see them freestyle, like Juice WRLD. And then all of a sudden he starts coming on the podcast, the interviews, the DJ station. He's spitting freestyles. You're like, yo, this nigga can freestyle too?
Right.
You know, so
it's fire. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I remember hearing Kodak shit. I don't know if Kodak was writing those and he was just reciting them, or if they were straight up off the dome. A lot of our like artists now, they actually don't really realize or understand the difference of freestyle. It's just like how it's presented. You know, when Rakim was doing his thing, I believe he said a freestyle was, might have been him or even Big L, that was like, freestyle wasn't necessarily supposed to be off the dome. It was supposed to be something you wrote down, but it didn't necessarily have like a specific beat or a song to go to. It was just like a lyrical exercise. And then some people believe like, no, freestyle has to mean it has to be off the dome and blah, blah.
Yeah, see, that's a good topic right there.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to.
I actually thought, like, see, me thinking, I'm thinking it's just freestyles off the dome.
Right.
But that's a good point. What if you have been practicing these raps to yourself?
Yeah.
You never put it on wax nowhere.
Right.
Then it's a freestyle. No one else has really heard it. And
right.
How they're gonna know?
They would kind of, you know, make fun of people that would go to the to these radio stations, and you could see them, like if they had a video, you would see like Drake or something reading off a phone, or they'd be like, oh, that's not really freestyle. But it's like, no, it really is. It's just something he wrote that wasn't necessarily specific or true to a record. As far as I know, because I've only done one radio show like that where I had to freestyle, and I was freestyling, but it did kind of catch me off guard, and I was like, damn, why did I stop doing the boot camp shit? You know, even thinking about the boot camp shit, I call it boot camp. So, you know, me thinking about the boot camp shit, it brings a smile to my face, because like you had to go, and it didn't matter if you were nice. It sharpened that tool. It was like, all right, freestyle now, it might not be that good, but at least you did it and you faced those fears, and then you got better at it. You failed forward faster. But fuck, I kind of went off track with that. I was going back to like people making fun of people for seeing them rap about it on, you know, whether it be a K-Slay or, you know, whatever radio show it might be. You see them reading off the phone, they get mad at people.
Real quick.
It's like, yo, but nah, like that's, you know, they're still rapping for you. Like, it would have been cool if they had it memorized, but then again, you got us artists that are writing constantly. Yeah. It's kind of hard to, you know, remember that shit. Shout out to Millies though, because Millies be really going hella fucking hard with them freestyles or whatever you want to call them. He be just going in. They put the camera on him and he just goes.
Some dudes can just spit.
Yeah.
Like they throw the beat on and they can just go.
I love Rhapsody Basement that you talked about. That's why I started doing the Vision verses. My idea was to just get in front of the microphone and just rap. I might be kind of doing the song that I've already did, but I've always loved that idea of like, yo, just get in front of the microphone and just do your thing.
Some of those Lil Waynes, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's hard. See, that's a perfect one. Like, that had to be some shit I feel like he had written at some point. Some of those freestyles were so clean and so smooth. It's like, and then you hear those same freestyles end up on an actual record behind a beat. Like you said, it was like he wrote it with no beat behind it.
Right.
You know, but then
I feel like he went famous. I feel like him went famous for it and somebody else went famous for that. Where it's like you would hear them freestyle at a Hot 97, but then you would hear the record drop like 2-3 weeks later. And he'd be like, well, I thought this was a freestyle, but it's like, no, to me, I thought that was genius marketing, because it was like, yo, if you thought that shit was hot, it's kind of like marketing. And in marketing, you want to be able to know if like, you want to have something post, and if it gets organic traffic, you're like, oh, people really like this shit. All right, that means I can spend some money on this. So if they're putting it out on Hot 97 or 94.5 or whatever radio station that's hot at the time, and people are like, yo, did you hear that freestyle? It's actually kind of smart to be like, yo, you know what? I'm going to take that freestyle, stick it to this beat, and I'm going to release that shit.
Let's make some more money off of it.
Right. Because that freestyle
that is genius, like you say it like that. Like he was just seeing what people were gravitating towards him off him spitting it somewhere.
Right.
Let's kick it out there.
Freestyle, people automatically think that it has to be free. Like he has that name, free.
There's the free right in the front of it. So
just give me a little sample of what you do, and I'm just gonna give you my hottest bars ever in life for the free. Nah, I'm gonna stick some of this shit on the record later on.
Let me figure out how to recycle it. And Lil Wayne was actually king of that. You heard couple of those freestyles on like 3-4 different mixtapes, the same one over different beats. And you're like, yo, I heard this shit, man.
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
For real.
Like, you thought he got me. And it would sound different. It was mixed different. Like, it was somehow he made the deliveries different or did something to his voice.
I ain't gonna lie.
You know,
like, thinking about that era, I don't know if he did that purposely or if DJs just had the acapella and they were just chopping it up and throwing it on different beats. Because that's in a DJ world, freestyle is a little bit different in that sense. Because freestyle is not the same as a rapper's
see, now
freestyle.
we're going even deeper, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, now my mind's
Now you're like, yo.
You only know if you know. Like,
Facts. Like when fucking, what was it? Like, I'll for example, I'll use DJ Vlad when he was Vlad the Butcher. And his mixtape series was fucking bananas. He had dropped the Rap Phenomenon with Tupac, and he had like a bunch of like acapellas and some that were regular songs, but then he mixed them with different beats, and it was like he mixed it so well that shit sounded like an album. Like, but they were like already records, but it was in the mixtape game, and it was just catching fire. So it's like that was kind of him freestyling, like, yo, I'm gonna take this, and I pictured this vocal on this beat, and I'm gonna mix it up and do this, and it went and caught fire.
that's fire.
I think he ended up getting what is it called? The mixtape of the decade or something like that award or whatever it was. When
So
mixtapes
that's
were
actually
real hot.
interesting. You kind of gave them a tidbit out there how Vlad is actually fire for his music and not just for getting people to tell on themselves on camera.
Right. People hate on him all day, but he's been a part of the culture so deep for so long. It's like, it's hard to call him a culture vulture or the feds or whatever you want to call them that people be saying. I really rock with Vlad. I used to buy Vlad CDs and his DVDs because he used to be on, I think all those beef DVDs where like 50 Cent's going at Ja Rule, like he was the one that was
Those were
behind
legendary,
all
bro.
these things, or him linking up with Game and following Game on tour, and he would basically document the entire thing and then come out with a documentary about it. Like he
Those
was
smack DVDs, basically.
yeah,
and
all that stuff. Yeah,
okay.
Like he was kind of, I don't want to say the forefather of it, but he was definitely in the mix when it wasn't hot. I feel like if anything, that motherfucker made it hot. I'm telling you.
So he's super good in music either way.
Yeah, because he used to make beats.
Even before all this YouTube shit he's doing right now.
Yeah, because he used to actually be a DJ. He used to make beats, and like he's 100% been submerged into hip hop. He just found a different alternative he wanted to do. I actually really like what he's doing in that sense of being able to sit down with people and get basically like a real documentary biopic from somebody that you wouldn't think that would have it. Like that, they might come and go and die and then nobody ever knows about their legacy. And I feel like he does a real good job by sitting with them and asking them their life story from A to Z, whatever they're comfortable with talking with.
Yeah.
And it's like such an interesting, like everybody likes the Michael Jordans and the blah, blah, blahs and all these people. But what about the people that were with them? They have a story too. Like I think that's just real interesting.
Those stories end up getting told too.
Yeah.
And they'd be real interesting.
Yeah.
There's so many pieces into a championship team and organization.
Right.
So when you look at all these different labels and empires, there's people that have vital roles that you don't even hear about.
Like if you
offensive linemen, you don't hear about them on every championship team. You don't even know who these dudes are half the time, but they helped win that ring.
Right. You barely know the coach's name. You barely know the additional coaches and who was there, doing this.
Unless
doing
you're
that.
fully invested to the whole team, then the people, super fans, they go in and try to learn everybody.
But even when they try to learn about it, there's not really a platform for them to learn about it.
Yeah.
So that's why I like what Vlad be doing, because it's like he's given that platform of like, you knew about the guy that produced for Michael Jackson, but you didn't really know the story.
You would have never heard all that information, that side information too. And for me, as a manager perspective, I remember seeing my brother at parties, packed parties, just rapping his ass off.
Yeah.
Rapping, bars. People hopping in what they would call ciphers. That's the cipher.
Hell yeah.
And we were in the cipher in a hot, sweaty basements, L's in rotation.
Yeah.
And, bottles going and people just coming up with any creative vision they can come with over the hottest beat we could find.
Right.
And that's how we were finding out who could spit, really.
Yeah.
And I wasn't in that rotation of people who could spit.
I wasn't in the rotation. I
know,
definitely was in the rotation.
I was a hype man. I was the ad-lib dude. I'd come up with all right, spit about this, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I was the topic guy.
Right.
But, you know, I wasn't the one rapping. My brother, on the other hand, Ben Grizz, rapping for days. And then I was the one who really came to him and was like, all right, I wanted to manage you, which it wasn't really official yet, but I wanted him to get his, not just be a freestyle rapper, but be able to put his music on wax, on a record.
Yeah, get his artistry up, basically.
So that's when we started going to different random garage band studios and doing whatever we could, figuring it the fuck out to get music out. And then eventually ended up full circle, getting linking with you.
Right.
You know, but it was really him starting off as the freestyle, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Doing that off-brand freestyle and seeing this dude can spit and just had a knack for rapping.
Right.
And I could see in him, he had a passion for music and loved music. You know, so how can we make that into something that is actually a product, a song, a full record that can get pushed out? And the development he's had from working with you, me, all these different various peoples and different things he's done. Now, bro, it's almost on like Kodak level where he can take a beat that's shitty and just turn it into something.
Yes.
You know?
Numerous of times where he comes to the studio and I'm just like, bro, I don't know about this beat. Like, where the fuck did you find this? And then, you know what I'm saying? And then he starts spitting on it and I'm like, damn, he's about to turn this shit into like, I'm gonna actually like this song now.
And he got that from actually sitting down in the lab, leaving the crack in the door, let God in, and him figuring out how to write. Really write and come up and find the concepts for his songs, how he's gonna come up with his different hooks, how he's just gonna put the whole song together.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you really develop. But like you said, I'm glad I asked you that question first. It's almost good to always go back to the beginning, to the raw basics, so you have that skill still.
Yeah.
Because if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yes.
You know, and all of a sudden, someone asks you, all of a sudden you get invited to Fxck, he asks you to freestyle on the spot. It's like, let me pull out the iPhone real quick.
Right. Right.
You know? So for me personally, as a manager, just to answer that long-winded question there, I guess, I see more people at a consumer level liking music that is shorter.
And freestyle fits in there too. Having something short, freestyles kind of fit in that.
Exactly. That's basically where I'm going with it, but they're not all necessarily freestyles.
Nah.
These shorter songs. Some of them got hooks on them too. Maybe one hook, you know, throughout. But like, they could almost be like a loose freestyle, a lot of them. And not everyone can even rap these days.
That's a whole nother, you know what I'm saying, topic.
Like, you don't even got to be a rapper. You just got to be popular or cool or, you know, there's a whole lot of things that go into being a rapper these days. It's not even just the rap.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's why I fell in love with the song form, because as much as I liked freestyling, I didn't feel like there was like a whole lot of replay in it, like a replay value. Whereas like when I think about like songs I grew up off listening that either made me cry or made me happy or made me want to go fight or do this, like I would always go back to those songs to like relive in those moments. And I think I got addicted to songwriting because I was so addicted to creating somebody's moment. And unfortunately, an artist can never really create the moment. You just live your experiences, create the music, and then if somebody else is going through something, that you end up finding your song and it becomes attached to their moment. Yeah. And then it makes the life, you know, you're making timeless music at that point. And that's what I got focused on. I was like, I just want to make timeless music where it's like, you know, I got a record with my son. Like I would have never been able to freestyle a whole record with my son and then have it be like that much replay value. Like for him personally, sure. But everybody else will be able to listen to that song and be like, damn, he's got a whole song with a son in it, you know, at 3-4 years old or whatever. He's going to always go back to if I pass away, he's going to listen to that and be like, damn, my dad was this. He's so awesome.
And the record,
or I hate that guy.
Those type of moments call for more structure.
Yeah.
Is basically what you're saying. Like,
yeah, I probably should have never stopped freestyling. You know what I'm saying? That's my own, I guess, gripe, I guess I could have with myself. But as far as like the artistry goes, like if you want to take it to that next level, you definitely have to at least be able to make that song. Make the hooks, make something memorable. You know, the hook is something that, it's called a hook. It's supposed to hook you into the song. Chorus is something that people are going to remember, you know?
one of the hardest tapes I heard personally, where I actually felt like the dude was freestyling. I don't know what happened to dude, but it was that dude Lud Fall and that no hooks record, no hooks tape he had. It was a whole tape of just no hooks and just him spazzing on the hardest beats and just rapping his ass off. Like, and then after that, no hooks, like he just disappeared. I never heard really no more up from the dude.
Was it just one record that he came out with, or it was like a whole tape?
It was a whole tape.
I'm trying to remember if
he has like a good amount of records where he was just no hook, like just spitting. Yeah. And that shit was hard as fuck. That's a tape right there. I'll take no hooks all day. Cause that when you're rapping like that, yeah, I'll take those type of freestyles.
So what do you prefer then? What do you prefer listening to? Do you prefer listening to, you know, as a consumer, because you are a consumer, do you prefer the freestyle type shit or like the well thought out, like let me put this thing together for you, like a project?
I'm on both sides with that. Yeah, I can't even, I'm trying to think how I could lean to one side, but I can't because there's so many records that were hits for me that were well structured. Like a lot of those, I can just name artists, Jay-Z records, 50 Cent records, well-structured records that were like, yo, this dude was a mastermind to put this all together this way.
Yeah.
Some of these records that tell stories, you know, and really let you see their full vision. I need that because I'm a visualizer, you know?
Jay-Z's Blueprint album is literally one of the best albums. It's literally called Blueprint, and he's giving the entire blueprint within the music. Like it's like real fucking genius work.
Yeah. But then some of those raw freestyles, like you can see just, it's amazing that someone can think of something like that off the top of their head.
Yeah.
Also, like you said, memorize it because we know how difficult that is.
Right.
You know, and spit it like that.
Yeah.
Jay-Z said he stopped writing a long time ago. I don't know how, but he had to write so much to get to that point.
I had to assume so. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know about it all the way back then, but I definitely know that he stopped. Same with Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne didn't, you know, he was kind of punching in and coming up with things.
Yeah. So it's hard to say, really, you know, with that being said. And some of these, like we were just saying with Lil Wayne, some of those freestyles, you know, wasn't official, wasn't on a beat yet, nothing like that. Right. Some of those raw material lyrics that they got end up being some of their hottest stuff.
Yep. Yep.
It's like, it just came from within them in the moment, that raw energy. Sometimes, and a lot of times when people go in and freestyle, they're kind of in a certain energy when they go to do that.
Yeah.
It's like, they're in that mode, like, I need to go get it now. Like, put me in the booth, give me a beat, and let's just get it.
Yeah.
Something about that energy, you can't match that.
You can't.
You know? So that's
that.
why I'm on both sides. Like, I wanted to give you both reasons why.
That's why I don't freestyle it, because I have such bad memory. That's why I hated freestyling back then was I would freestyle and people would be like, yo, that was the dopest shit I ever heard. This shit sound like a whole song. You should go write that. And I'd be like, I don't even know what I just said to you.
Exactly. You almost like blacked out.
Yeah, it's like I blacked out. The shit went up in the air. And if you can verbatim tell me what it is I said, then I'll write it down. But other than that, I used to get so upset with myself. Because I'm like, yo, why didn't that right there would have went. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, even as a consumer, when I take myself out of the artistry, which I'm never really out of, but even as a consumer, if I'm on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, if I scroll down and see somebody freestyle, I'll listen to it. And if I do like it, I'm not looking for more freestyles. I'm like, all right, this shit is dope. Let me go find their latest album or single or music video.
That is a great point.
And then once I go down, and I do deep dive. So if I really fuck with you, I deep dive it. I go stalk you on everything and find you on YouTube and see how long you've been doing it, how many projects you got out. And then I'll check out, and then I end up following your interviews. I actually end up watching more of your interviews more than I listen to your music. So I can actually see if I like you as a person.
And see, that's exactly what I do too, especially in a manager perspective.
Right.
I guess now that you say it, like I look at the freestyling and the being able to songwrite, that's like all part of being a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
That's like part of your skills, your attributes. It's like when an NBA player, you got a 3-point range? Can you dunk?
Right.
Can you do layups?
Yeah.
You know, like those are all a couple different
skills. If I'm gonna be a fan of you, you gotta be it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like some people want you to be able to dunk and for them to be a fan of you.
Yeah.
Or be able to freestyle.
Right.
Or do layups. You know, some people want you to be able to hit that 3-pointer from deep. Go deep with the conscious rap and the songwriting. You know, some people, so it's like when you have them both, that's what makes you the great artist. The artist that can, like Jay-Z, Lil Wayne we were talking about, they can freestyle, they can songwrite, whatever you want, they can do. They can MC, they can hold down a crowd. They might go in an interview, say something interesting. You know, that's the whole totality of becoming an artist. That's all comes into being an artist right there.
Right. No, definitely.
So now that you say it, I love them both if you can do them both.
Yeah.
You know, because that's part of you being a great artist.
Right. Facts. I should probably get back into that myself. So might need to hit up my brother after this and be like, yo, boot camp.
But yeah, y'all let us know, man, in the comments. Tell us what y'all feel or prefer, freestyle rap or when they songwrite and they get deep with the records, conscious rap, gangster rap, drill rap. What do you prefer to listen to for your type of rap music? You listening to auto-tune, people whining in your ear? Like, what do you like? And let us know. And, you know.
For real.
This is Figure It the Fuck Out.
Yes, sir.